Today on Drawbli, we are drawing
food-inspired mythical creatures.
quite a complicated prompt. Well, hey, if you are new around here, click that subscribe button. And if you have an idea for some cool prompt or something else we could draw or paint in the future, let us know down in the comments. Abby, what are you doing for your cool food-inspired mythical creature?
Well, as you can see from our sped up 5 minutes, which is coming to a close here, I'm getting down the base form of a person, which is too ambitious. We both know it. We're not saying anything, and we're just going. We know it. We know it is.
I have no idea.
So I flipped through my sketchbook for inspiration, I found an old figure study that I did that the proportions are all kind of wacky on, and even more wacky now that I'm trying to replicate them from my sketch and not the original reference. Woo, it gets deeper. But I thought, why don't I make the olive oil fairy?
Why don't you make the olive oil fairy? Okay, I like it.
Which originally I was thinking maybe I could just have her like pouring olive oil, like kind of in this cascade behind her. She can just shoot it. But then I thought, then I could make this easier on myself because it needs to be easier. I mean, let's face it. Drawing a whole figure, adding clothes, and then olive oil is going to be too much.
Ridiculous.
So
what if
I just do this figure and then I just color it with the colors of olive oil?
I like it.
Yeah.
So it's an olive oil fairy.
Yes.
Is the idea.
And she looks like she's made of olive oil. What do you think?
Ta-da! No, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think it's a hard one. Difficult. You've bitten off a lot there, but I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I'm doing a breakfast gnome. I thought that would be fun.
That's cool. A breakfast gnome, yeah.
So he's gonna have a beard made of egg whites and some other fun things that I'm not gonna spoil because I don't want my food to go bad.
Right.
So I'll let you see later when I'm done. I'm excited though. I think he's gonna be fun.
I bet he is. That's a cool prompt idea. I'm selecting the entire form. I'm kind of trying to pull from my knowledge of what you do actually, and I'm gonna select this entire thing that I've done, and then I'm gonna just start by filling it with a yellow color.
Fill her up. A yellow color.
Yeah,
Ooh,
well, the
okay.
olive oil color from my color reference. And then from there, I can go in and add her, like, values. Now, here's where I've really gotten myself into trouble. Because we knew from the start this one would be trouble, right? Nobody ever doubted that this would be a troublesome thing. Well, I don't have a reference to tell me where to put her light and shadow.
Oh.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, I guess you'll just have to figure it out. I mean, I would just do a simple light source up top. When in doubt, make that lighting simple.
Yeah, so... we'll see.
So.
So, yeah. What am I doing here? I think I've done something wrong.
What are you doing?
Oh, I see what I've done. That's okay. I think what I've done is okay, because I thought for a second I drew on my sketch layer or painted on it.
Oh my gosh.
And I did, but I painted on my duplicated sketch layer, and I think that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think...
Negates the purpose of doing this whole selection, though. There we go.
That'll be okay. You'll get it. You'll figure it out. I am really excited to turn this guy's hat into a stack of pancakes. That is, I'm not exactly sure. That's probably the part I'm most concerned about here. A little worried that might look a little awkward, but I'm going to try. I should probably have gotten a larger stack of pancakes to use as a reference. Because his tall is very His tall is very hat? No.
His tall is very hat, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going to leave that one as it is. But yes, I am going to make his beard eggs. I'm going to make his nose an egg yolk. His ears are probably going to be bacon, of course. Duh.
Right, duh.
Of course. What else would it be?
Bacon.
So why olive oil? Why did you go with olive oil?
We were cooking with olive oil yesterday. Just yesterday, we were putting it onto pizza crusts. And
yes, we were.
and that's it. That's the whole thing.
I see.
Yeah, I didn't go too far with that thought. Obviously. But you know, that's how that's how great ideas start. Because weren't we just talking about Mario, of course?
We were just talking about Mario.
And you were waxing eloquent on all your favorite qualities of Mario, as you do.
Uh-huh. Go on.
Saying like, Mario is brilliant in his simplicity. You take a simple idea, a plumber, and you combine that with another simple idea, a superhero. And look at what you have. You have Mario, the most amazing IP to ever grace the face of the earth, sans perhaps Pokemon. And so you were just going, and it was really impressive. So when we came up with this topic, and we weren't, this isn't something we've mused over for days or anything. This is just
the idea of the day.
Yeah, exactly. The idea of the day.
That sounds fun.
That sounded fun. Not taking a huge amount of time to come up with the idea. So in the space of a few minutes.
I think it's a really fun prompt.
I think it's a really fun prompt.
Look, I put in all the legwork on this one. All right? Yeah, I don't see you coming up with cool Mario prompts.
No, I know, but I did try to use this one to the fullest, didn't I?
Well, I wasn't exactly talking about Mario with what I was saying earlier. I was just talking about Nintendo in general and how they will take an idea and combine it with something else. And I really like that. And I think that's fun to do with prompts for drawing. So like taking something like a fantasy creature and then making it a little more interesting by adding some breakfast elements. Turning it into a breakfast monster.
Yeah, I love
or
that.
Olive oil monster or creature or fairy. Whatever you will.
Sprite, perhaps.
Sprite. What's the difference between a sprite and a fairy?
Perhaps levels of mischievous.
Sprite's got a lot more calories and sugar, am I right?
Oh my gosh. I don't really know, but this one is made of olive oil.
That is quite the pose. Are they holding on to the back of their leg? Are they like stretching? What's going on there?
My original idea, I think originally in the original reference, she might have been grabbing her foot there. And originally I thought to make like a stream of olive oil pouring like between her shoulder blades and going down from there. But I'm already biting off way more than I can chew, realistically, let's not lie. So I brought it back. And I said, why don't I just make her made of olive oil, because then I can just add in all my shading that way and just shade the form, the figure, as if she's made of olive oil.
But olive oil is like a liquid. Like, how's that going to work?
Well, that's where it gets complex. Now, I'm referencing olive oil in glass bottles, so maybe she's like kind of... Glassy, yeah.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
That's very fun. Stack of pancakes. I think I messed this up, but I kind of knew going in that my stack of pancakes was maybe weirdly angled. Like the perspective here doesn't really make too much sense, but that's okay. We're just gonna have a little piece of butter hanging out up top here, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll make it work. Perspective's so hard. It's probably my brain just like does not compute. I have to plan it out, pre-plan it, or if I'm in the moment, I have to like really sit there and think about it for a long time. Like, wait, who does, where does? It's tough. Tough stuff.
It is tough. Now, something I'm trying to incorporate here is something you've been telling me about, something you told me about recently.
What did I tell you about recently?
Well, as we've discussed in previous episodes, I have a style.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has a style.
But I don't necessarily want to have one.
Well, you're going to no matter what.
Well, I don't want one based on what you're seeing. When you see this and say, oh, that's your style, I'm not good enough yet that I want any elements that I do regularly to be super recognizable. I want to be moving past that.
I don't know if that's true. I think you're fine. I think you're fine to have habits and things that you do often. Now, if they're bad habits, that's, something else we can talk about. But I don't think that you have a ton of
We were talking about
habits.
One of my habits of leaving in a lot of conflicting brushwork. And I really liked when you told me about how blocks of shadow and color, a good idea is to think of them almost as solid shapes, puzzle pieces that you're trying to fit together versus just a bunch of kind of vague idea that the color here is darker, so I'm going to tap around with a dark brush there till I get a vaguish smorgasbord of darker colors.
Yeah.
And I liked that a lot. So I'm trying to bear that in mind here today.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's all about shape design. I mean, this is something that we will just work on more and more over time. You know, we're pretty new to this stuff, and there's only a million things to learn. But we will get there. Yeah, my pancakes are like the distance between my pancake slices way too small. I'm gonna have to make them either much thicker or something. I think I'm carving these out a little too early. I'm gonna go back in. We're going back to work.
I gotta get
Back to work on the pancakes. All right. We're gonna jump away from the pancakes for a moment. We'll come back to those.
Stand by.
They're not going anywhere.
No.
Got plenty of time here.
I do like your idea though of the breakfast gnome. He seems like he would just sit on your table in the morning and help you with your breakfast.
Or you would eat him.
Oh, well. I mean, I might not eat him.
Look, you're out in the wild exploring. You're a fantasy adventurer, and all of a sudden, tummy starts grumbling. What are you gonna do?
Oh, you look around for the nearest breakfast gnome.
Exactly.
And you devour him. I see.
That's what I'm saying. Now, as far as bacon ears, how do you feel about bacon ears?
Bacon ears, I love it. I absolutely love it.
I don't know how to draw bacon. Bacon's it's got a lot of stripes. It's got a lot of things going on with it.
Bacon, yeah, it has a lot of highlights too, because you got your glistening like little fatty bits.
The glistening fatty bits, you got the unglistening fatty bits. I mean, it's pretty much all fatty bits if we're being honest here with bacon.
Okay, you know what I'm going to try to do now?
What's up?
Maybe it's too early for that. Maybe I should refine more.
It is too early, yeah.
Yeah.
You should refine more.
Refine more.
Why? What were you going to say?
Well, I wanted to work on that mask technique you were showing me.
Oh, no, you can do that now.
You think so?
Yeah, do that whenever. Like, just try it out.
Okay.
Do you remember how to set it up?
I think so. So, first I have to combine my layers though, right? And I'm not sure I'm ready to do that. So maybe I'll keep going for a little bit.
Don't be afraid of the layers, Abby. Just delete them. You don't need them. You don't need those layers anymore.
You might be right.
Move on past them. Screw them. Just dive right in and fail. That's what I'm doing. I don't need no stinking layers. Oh, these are going to be some thick flapjacks. Are flapjacks and pancakes the same thing?
I want to say there might be a slight difference, but not a significant enough one that if you get it wrong, you're gonna get people like coming at you with pitchforks, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know the difference.
I think it's one of those things that maybe I learned once and then it really wasn't important enough to remember.
Oh, like most things.
Like many, many things, yes.
What about drawing? Is that an important thing to remember?
Yes. You never forget.
So here, I've heard that drawing is not like riding a bike, and it's something that you, like when you come back to it after a long time, you gotta like
really
kind of warm back. Oh, well, here I was gonna ask you because you've been drawing throughout your whole life. You know, you've been doing a lot more than me. So like you've been, as you just self-described, lifelong doodler. And have you like experienced that at all? Like,
I would say you could definitely by practicing a lot, you get in the zone a lot more easily. And if you continue on in the zone, you see improvement a lot faster.
Continue in the zone.
Exactly. So in terms of progressing, that's definitely true. Past that, I don't think I have enough experience sticking with it super long enough to really be able to speak to that super well.
Yeah, like not intentional enough, essentially. That's fair.
What do you think?
For sculpting, I could see how that's like somewhat applicable. In my opinion, though, like specifically with sculpting at least, it's such a slow kind of process in general. I at least don't feel like that. I've never taken like a huge break from sculpting though, so I can't really speak to that
But
myself.
you have students who've taken breaks, right? So.
I have had students take, long breaks in between working on stuff. So with that, I would say I could see maybe some truth to that. Like, I guess it depends how long the break is. Like, if it's a really long break, people, tend to forget a lot of basics or fundamental stuff. And it's like, not back to the drawing board or anything like that, but it's, we're going to put some extra work in to figure this kind of stuff out. I also notice, like, over long periods of time, like, if you're still not, if you're not practicing your fundamentals, you kind of slip up on them a little. Like, you kind of move backwards a little bit in that regard.
Interesting.
Like, I feel like people move forward to more complex stuff maybe a little too soon occasionally, and then it's like, well, yeah, those were the basics, but now it's time to move on to this, and it's like, well, hey, hold, slow down. Maybe that was kind of important, maybe that's like the whole thing. You should focus on that. It's good stuff. Focus on those basics. This flapjack hat, I'm gonna have to pour some syrup on this thing.
Ooh, that would look cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
I am still trying to refine. Oh my gosh. Refried beans. Refine.
You should have done a refried bean fairy. That would be beautiful. Cool. I don't know if it would be. Maybe not. What are you refining? Have you done the masking? Shapes. The masking thing?
Not yet, because I'm not satisfied with where my color shapes are yet. So I need to keep going until I'm a little bit happier with them.
Where did my butter go? How did my butter got all the way up there? What happened?
What even happened, Ben?
Gotta finish my egg white beard, and then for finishing touches, I'm gonna add some syrup to my beard. Not my beard, my other thing, his hat. Do you wish you had a pancake hat? Because I kind of wish I had a pancake hat right now. I was a little worried that this episode might make us a little hungry here.
Oh yeah.
But
did you eat before you came up here?
But I did a little. But I was a little concerned that would happen. But I don't think I'm drawing delicious enough looking food for that to be the case. So,
good.
So that's good. In terms of not being very good at drawing, this is a partial win, I would say, in that regard. I can't make myself hungry with my own drawings. One day in the future, I would say that's a pretty good drawing goal to get to.
Is to be able to draw food to the point where you're like, that makes me hungry.
Wow, that looks so good.
Wow, I'm so good at drawing food.
There was that one cutting board I did, but
that was a really good cutting board.
You liked it a lot. I thought it was okay.
I thought it was amazing. The colors were so vibrant. It was a very interesting piece.
It was more interpretational, Definitely more artistic than the direction I would normally go. I'm more of a realist. I don't like that impressionist stuff. I make real art.
Yeah.
I'm all about the real. All right, for my syrup, oh man. I'm going to be doing essentially what you are doing, which is drawing something that's like kind of shiny.
It's hard. It's not easy.
So I think I'm gonna keep my syrup rather simple.
Oh, a simple syrup?
A simple syrup. What is simple syrup? Is that for cooking?
I know it's also in like making cocktails too.
A simple syrup. I've heard that before.
Well, I looked up how to make one once for some reason, I forget why, and it was literally just boiling sugar with an added thing that you wanted the sugar to take on the spirit of, such as cranberries. And you just boiled that with some water, some sugar, and some cranberries, and you had a simple syrup.
Fascinating.
You had to strain out the cranberries and stuff, but...
Of course, yeah. I mean, can't have those chunky berries in there. That would just ruin the whole thing. Now, how do I do that alpha lock? There it is. Of course, the alpha lock. How could I forget? This is a feature that I don't really use all that often, but I'm going to try to like smudge this syrup around a little. I'm not an expert in painting syrup. I don't eat a ton of syrup, although I wish that I did.
Yeah, it's really something I've noticed about you. It's a bit of a shortcoming, the amount of syrup you don't eat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it, so maybe one day.
Maybe this year. This is your year.
Maybe next year. Honestly, like New Year's resolution comes around, eat more syrup. Eat more syrup. It sounds like a pretty good, honestly, sounds like a great resolution. I think it's one that I probably wouldn't fail. Like, it sounds like a pretty easy goal.
Well, Ben, what are your finishing touches?
My syrup, of course. I'm trying to
finishing touch.
Well, I'm working on it. So the syrup up there is much darker. So I gotta make my syrup darker, and then I was going to maybe make it see-through, like clear, opaque.
Ooh,
is the word that some people might use.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't have very much syrup. Maybe it kind of looks bad. Is the thing?
It kind of just is not getting to what you wanted to do. That's okay.
Nah, it's fine. It looks great. It's the best syrup anybody's ever drawn, probably. Like, I mean, how many times have people drawn syrup out there?
Not a whole. I mean, it's really not that common.
I can't imagine that it actually is, in all honesty. Do you like your little fairy over there? How's it going?
It's been fun. I like drawing human figures and forms. The lack of firm reference material on this one presented a unique challenge where literally the sketch I'm going off of is an extremely unrefined pencil sketch that is in itself very, very simple. So that's been a cool challenge for me.
What do you think these guys are born this way, like
with the pancake hats?
Well, born made of breakfast food, or is he wearing it? Is he like, what's going on here? What's happened?
What has happened that has led up to the moment where I think that's just the world he lives in.
Yeah,
they're born that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
maybe he's born with it.
Probably he's born with it.
Maybe it's a breakfast gnome. Not a lot of syrup, but that's okay. That's, it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we say here on Drawbli. It is what it is.
We say that a lot.
We say it probably too much. What do you think?
I think for the time we have, we get done what we get done. So, yeah, we embody the spirit of it is what it is.
All right, let's check out what we've done. Let's check out yours first, because yours is really cool. Yours looks very cool, almost a little more golden statue-esque, little gold material. But I like what I got. I like what you got, I should say. I didn't do any of this. This wasn't one where we trade back and forth. This is very cool though. I would not be able to do this, but I feel like you captured the perspective of the top plane of the foot, and I can tell that the character's leaning backward. You did a very good job with this.
Thank you.
And I would not be able to do that. And I like your little olive leaf in the background as well.
I decided
it's a nice touch.
Be a pretty contrast.
It's very, very nice.
Well, thank you. Let me see your breakfast gnome.
He's okay. He's
so cute. I love him. His concept is so fun.
I wanted to make the pancake stacks they feel like they're floating in between. They're like hovering in between.
He's so cute though. And look at those little bacon ears. Oh my gosh. And oh my goodness, his beard and his nose are a fried egg.
That's the point.
That's amazing. That is so cool. And his little fringe of his hat is clearly whipped cream.
Clearly, I mean.
Very clearly.
So
you got a little pat of butter on the top with that syrup trailing down.
Yeah.
Oh, that is such a cool thing. You have used so many cool breakfast elements. I love him.
Why, thank you. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. If you are new around here, click that subscribe button. And if you have a cool suggestion for a breakfast gnome or an olive oil gal or something else, comment below. And this is the part where we say
goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now I want some olive oil.
Now I want some breakfast.
Yeah.
Some breakfast gnomes.
I had pizza for breakfast.